this book called .com Secrets by what's his name? Tony Robbins? I don't know. No, no. By this who is Russian Brunson. So we are trying to get as much value from this book as possible in the least amount of time, and I want to share that with you as well. The .com Secrets. What is it about? It is not about increasing your conversation. It's not about increasing your conversions. Increase these .com secrets increase your conversions more than any headline tweak or split test you could ever hope to make. If you're currently struggling with getting traffic to your website or converting that traffic when it shows up, you may think you've got a traffic or conversion problem. In my experience, after working with thousands of businesses, I found that's really the case. No traffic comes in numbers and just seems to much greater problem. What's the problem? So he flew to San Diego and he built a following of 1.2 million followers on Facebook. But because of something this, his traffic dropped by 90%. He was spending $116 to sell a $97 product, which was no longer profitable. Okay, so what happened? Wanted help with two things, traffic and conversions. I smiled because that's why most people call me. They usually assume that I'm going to help them tweak a headline, change the art track, and solve their problem. But I knew that, like most companies I work with, it wasn't a traffic problem. It really is. More often than not, it's a final problem. After listening to Drew and his team, sharing me all their numbers, their pains and frustrations, and their ups and downs, I sat back in a chair and told them they were in luck. You don't have a conversion or traffic problem, I said. He said, what are you talking about? Our traffic is down 9%. We can't break even converting our customers, you said. The problem isn't you can't spend enough to acquire a customer, and the way to fix the problem is to fix your sales funnel. Okay, the problem isn't you can't spend to acquire enough to acquire a customer. I don't understand this. What is this? Problem isn't you can't spend enough to acquire a customer, and the way to fix that problem is to fix your sales funnel. Ultimately, the business that can spend the most to acquire a customer wins. Okay, what is this? The reason Drew's business wasn't making money was because he was not able to spend enough to acquire a customer. If he was, he fixed his sales funnel so that instead of making $97 for every dollars under 16 he spends, he can start making 2 to 3 times as much money for each sale, and then the whole game changes. Suddenly can afford to buy more traffic from more places. Can outbeat competitors. He can spend 2 to 3 times more than he is now, all while becoming exponentially more profitable. So what things you make to grow his business? How do you take a sales funnel that was losing money and transform into a tool that follow allowed FitLife or TV to spend more than its competitors? That's what this book's about. It will help us understand about how to structure our company's products and services in a way that will allow us to make 2 to 3 times as much money from the same traffic that we are getting now. And when we follow these steps, we'll open the floodgates, allowing us to spend a lot more money to get a lot more new customers. Okay, so that's what this book is about. This book will also show you how to communicate with your customers in a way that makes them naturally want to send up your ladder of offerings and give you more money as you provide them more value. Once you know the foundational concepts behind .com secrets, we'll dive into the phases of sales funnel and explore the building blocks you will need to use in each phase. Okay, what is this? Well, I will give you the 7 core sales funnels I use my companies. Okay, when you implement each of these secrets, you'll transform your business from and your website from flat 2 dimensional company into 3 dimensional sales and marketing machine that all you to outspin your competitors, acquire an almost unlimited number of new customers, make and keep more money, and most importantly, serve more people. That is what this book is about. Chuck Melodics and 2 others old. It's a normal this okay, normal human. Hello, hello, you can voice on the head, blah blah blah, watch TV with him, was interesting news, when news ended, waiting for him to send me to bed, he didn't, so I was coming next. was one of the late night information to Portugal information featured a guy named Don Labra was explaining how to make money with telling little class for that. I'm not sure why he grabbed my attention, maybe because I was so young I didn't understand that making funny fast wasn't possible. Maybe my imagination grew big as it was so charismatic. Whatever the reason that when I started talking about Zuck during this infomercial, he told stories about how he started a business. He explained how he came up with an idea for a product and invested cost for that in his local newspaper to sell this new product. The first week after his ad run, he made enough money to pay for that and was left with about $20 in profit. While most people wouldn't consider that a big one, Don knew that he could take that same money ad, run it on other newspapers, and make a $30 profit from each paper. He ended up running that ad in thousands of newspapers and made tens of thousands of dollars a month doing it. I didn't realize it at the time, but Ron was teaching me and everyone else who was watching the basics of direct response marketing, which could be applied to any company. The basics of direct response marketing. Direct response marketing. What is this? I have this is the first time I heard this. Well, as you can guess, my 2 year old eyes opened wide and my heart started racing. I remember getting so excited that I was going to sleep that night or the rest of the week. All I could think about was buying Dawn's system so I could start making money. After that, if he would help me pay for it, but I had any good father should have made me go out and work for the money. I have mowed lawns, weeded gardens, and worked really hard for 3 or 4 weeks to implement the water system. I still remember calling the 1800 number the box stood up, my heart was racing as I rubbed it open. After reading the page that Dawn explained to me the basics of direct response marketing, and that is where this journey began for me. After that, I started collecting classified ads and calling the 1800 numbers on them to see what people would send me. I started to see that other companies were doing the same thing that Dawn was teaching. The offline method. What is this? This is what is 1 method? It calls emails. Uh, this picture is not clear. Online method. Outcomes could submit by dollar. I started to look at magazines and saw the same types of ads, so I would call the phone number and send it for the free info get that he has a problem as well. Within 3 or 4 weeks, I started getting junk mail. I put junk mail in quotation marks because the thing that junk mail has literally made millions. I started getting so much mail that means the mailman couldn't fit all into the mailbox. I would come home from junior high school and my parents might have 2 or 3 letters, but I would have a whole stack of my very own mail. I would take it all into my bedroom and read through every letter. I didn't know it at the time, but I was reading long form sales letters from some of the greatest direct response marketers of all time. I saw what they were doing and how they were doing it, and it was fascinating to me. Whatever they were saying, the process was the same. They would place a small ad asking people to contact their company for a free report. They would place a small ad asking people to contact their company for a free report. Contact your company for a free report. After you contacted them, they would send you a sales letter disguised as a free report selling a low ticket information product. When I purchased the product, they would send me their system along with another sales letter selling me a high ticket product. I figure 0.1, which means low ticket product, high ticket product. What's the language? I don't understand this language quite yet. The offline sales funnels brought prospects to a predictable series of steps. It was the first exposure to sales funnels. I didn't know it at the time, but this process I was seeing over and over again offline would become the exact same system that I would use to grow hundreds of companies online. And while funnels get much more advanced than this, look at this diagram to see what offline funnels look like and note how similar they are to online funnels. I'm just showing you towards this book. There is online sales funnels at practical article to the often direct response marketing funnels I studied as a kid. Most kids his age were collecting bees for cards. He was studying junk mail and learning marketing funnels. When I left for college, my mom made me throw my junk mail in the garden, but I got the small art picture of the best marketing and sales education I could have ever received. Wow, that's cool. but now never able to afford to sell stuff to squash ads and direct mail as well, but I understood the concept. It wasn't until 10 years later during my sophomore year in college that I rediscovered direct response marketing and saw how I could use it on the internet. Not your typical teenager. Good, very good. The first online business. Okay, we have 5 minutes left. One late night during his sophomore year in college, he was lying in bed, way too tired to turn off the TV, so instead he flipped through the channels and one commercial caught his eye. It was explaining how people were making money online with a website. He knew he needed to learn more. He dialed the number, got a ticket for a local event, and then the next night he was at the seminar in a local hall then. And the little seminar reignited his interest in business and direct response marketing. He remembers hearing the speakers talk about how people were using the internet to make money in a way that was almost identical to what he had learned when he was a kid. But instead of using mail, they were using email. Instead of using magazines, they had blogs. Instead of the radio, they were using podcasts. It was fascinating, and he was hooked from day one. Old media versus new media. Nice, nice, very nice. Okay, this is nice. I understand this picture at least. Radio podcast, maybe about blogs, my blogs. He started looking at other people's websites, starting how these businesses were making money, and he decided more on what he saw. After all, if it worked for them, it could work for him. So he created a similar brand and services. What others were selling online. His website looked similar, and the copy and the business were similar, but for some reason, his efforts made very little money. If any, he was frustrated because he could see others making money successfully. What was he doing wrong? It took almost 2 full years of studying, researching, and interviewing successful marketers before he realized that he was seeing online wasn't the full business. What he was seeing online wasn't the full business. The people who were making money were doing it through steps and processes invisible to the naked eye, while he had modeled the part of their business that he could say there were multiple funnels happening behind the scenes that made the magic work. He found that the difference between a $10,000 website and a $10 million company was all of the things happening after a buyer came into that initial funnel. He was modeling that he could see happening on the surface, but the real money was in ways he couldn't see. It took him years to discover and master these dot-com secrets, but when he did, his company quickly went from a few $100s a month to millions of dollars a year in revenue. He wanted to write this book not because he's stronger than anyone else, but because he thinks that there are a lot of people like he was, people who know the surface levels of what others are doing and are frustrated that they aren't getting similar results. This book is a culmination of decades spent analyzing hundreds of companies and their successful sales funnels. He has built over 100 sales funnels of his own and has worked with thousands of students and clients to build funnels in every market you can dream of, both online and offline. He hopes that after reading this book, we will soon realize our dreams of success are a lot closer than we think. We will soon see that by providing a ton of value, communicating effectively with our audience, building out our sales forces in a very strategic way, we can get our products, service, or message out in the world, and we can get paid what we are worth while doing it. There are three ways this book is different. Um, okay, here's our quiz now. I fully understand and respect that. It's important for us to know that we'll not just okay, you have many choices in business and success training, and I'm honored that you have decided to spend our valuable time with him. Here's how this book is different from other books that we might read. Everything he shows in this book is evergreen. If you are trying to learn how to grow a company online, the boss you probably purchased books and courses with systems that work when they were created but become outdated before they even got to the proper step. When Google changes an algorithm or Facebook introduces a new layout, many tactics suddenly become obsolete. This book, on the other hand, is a playbook for creating market funnels that will exponentially increase our sales online. As an evergreen guide, it will be as useful 10 years from now as it is today. He only focuses on strategies and concepts that will remain the same even when technology changes. And he doesn't just teach this stuff, he actually does it. There are a ton of people using internet marketing and the vast majority of them Okay, now time's up. Our 15 minutes, time's up. So we'll be reading this later and trying to implement this stuff in our own life. So stay connected, subscribe if you want, subscribe if you then got bored. If you are watching this at this point, I have respect for you, nothing else.